What's up guys, Sergio here. So today I want to talk about how to have a successful meal prep. I want to give you guys some tips that you can use no matter what kind of diet you have in order to make sure that your meal prep is successful. So let's jump right in. The first tip is before you even begin the meal prep is you want to sit down and plan. You're going to want to plan the specific types of foods that you're going to need for the week, and then you want to make sure that you go out and get those foods so that then you're not running back and forth to the grocery store wasting time that you probably don't have. Second, you're going to make sure that you prep in bulk. I recommend prepping in bulk because once again, this is going to be a time saver. This way you're not spending endless hours in the kitchen preparing food for the next day when you can be using it doing something else. So what I recommend is setting aside 2 days out of the week for meal prep so that then you can cut down on the time that you're in the kitchen. The next tip is making sure that you measure and weigh everything. And there's 3 tools that I think you absolutely need to have to make sure that you're successful when meal prepping. So let's go over those 3 things. The first thing that you're going to want to have is measuring cups. So you're going to want to make sure you have measuring cups that go from 1/4 of a cup all the way up to a cup. The next thing that you're going to want to have is measuring spoons. So measuring spoons that go from 1/4 of a teaspoon up to a tablespoon. And the last thing that you're going to want to have, which is my favorite, that's going to be a digital food scale. So these 3 things are going to allow you to be the most successful. And on a note with a digital food scale, I think that this is probably by far the best measurement tool that you can have. When it comes to using measuring cups and a food scale, if I have the opportunity, I'm always going to use my digital food scale because I think this is the most accurate. And I've actually done a video on food scales, so check that out if you haven't already. Now, along those lines, when it comes to measuring and weighing out your food, you're going to want to make sure that you not only weigh your food before you cook it while you're in a preparation mode so you know how much to make, but you're also going to want to make sure that you weigh your food after it's cooked. And the reason for this is that food can change in composition once it's cooked. So for example, if I have 7 ounces of frozen chicken breast, once I cook it, it might only weigh 4 or 5 ounces. And the same thing with rice. If I have a 1/4 cup of dry rice, it's going to cook up to 3/4 of a cup once it's cooked. So make sure that you're not only weighing your food before you cook it, but also make sure you're weighing your food after you cook it to make sure that you have the most accurate numbers when you go to consume it. Now the last tip that I'm going to leave you guys with, make sure that you track your daily caloric intake. By doing this, you're going to know how the food you're consuming is impacting your current weight. So make sure you're looking at every food label, make sure that you're weighing and measuring out all your food and that you're logging it, whether it's using MyFitnessPal or some kind of calorie app, or if you're just simply writing down that food. It's going to make sure that your meal prep is accurate and it's going to allow you to be the most successful in your diet. So those are the tips that I want to leave you guys with. Hopefully you guys did find these tips helpful. If you guys did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.